I'm so glad to see you here, and I'm excited that we'll be spending some time together. I can promise you this, before this training is over, you will have gained clarity on the next step to make your dream a reality. I'm going to show you step by step how to transform your life, ignite your purpose, and awaken your legacy using the power of breathwork. You'll learn how to stop procrastinating on your dreams, find a deeper sense of purpose, and start building a long-lasting legacy, all in less than 6 months. Be sure to stay tuned until the end of the video because I have a gem that I cannot wait to share with you. Let's get started. We are going to go over some amazing things. But first, I would love to tell you a little bit about my story and why this is so important to me. So when I first started in entrepreneurship and I was building my first company, I was excited, but also quickly got exhausted. I burnt out like you would not believe. And when I developed chronic illness, I realized that something had to change. I could not continue the way that I was going. I remember my breathwork mentor called me and he offered to do a session for me. And during that session, I broke down mid-session because I had a realization. This realization was that I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't. My mother was always busy and I basically had to figure it out and rely on myself when I was a child. So those wounds were still playing out in adulthood in terms of me not being able to ask for help or support from other people. So when I had this realization and this breakthrough come through during the session, I could feel like in my body the trauma dissolve. And that was so amazing because not only do you know that your subconscious is reprogramming when you're doing breath work, but you feel it in your body instantly. And you feel that breakthrough in that deeper breath that you're taking. I really decided to change the way that I was going about life and business. I hired support and I spent more time on myself and my practice and my journey. I delegated more. I spent more time doing things that I enjoyed because I no longer was doing these stress-inducing tasks. I could feel the pressure and the weight of responsibility drop from my shoulders, and I had more time to take deep grounding breaths and to support my family and employees and clients more fully. It allowed me to serve at a much higher level because as we expand into higher levels of leadership, we have to remember that receiving assistance is a form of self-care. And it's vital to our ability to continue to serve and to grow with our business and not become a slave to it. The biggest lesson I learned was that you are not your career and that you are a human being, not a human doing. You may resonate with a part of my story or even the whole thing. When we move through life day in and day out, unaware of the underlying reason for our behavior, it's easy to neglect our relationships and our big dreams. The subconscious mind rules our life, so when we become self-aware, we're empowered to take back control of our lives. It was so important for me to have that realization because those stress-inducing tasks were just distractions. I wanted so deeply to give back, to make a difference in the world, but I was not honoring my word and I was not taking action. Not because I didn't want to, but because I hadn't created space for it. Tomorrow became next week became next month, and next month became someday. Breathwork helped me to face them and to slow down and actually be present in my body. And when you do that, you're able to break through and have amazing changes happen, not only in your body, but in your life. So I share that story with you to say breathwork can have tremendous shifts, not only in the moment, but long term. You're probably thinking, I've been breathing my whole life. How is this any different? On a daily basis, yes, we are breathing, but this is mostly unconscious, an automatic function of the body. Breathwork is an umbrella term describing conscious breathing. These practices in which we bring awareness to the breath. That's the key here. By doing this, we're able to flood our body with oxygen and renew our cells. And as you can probably imagine, the health benefits are plentiful. Some of the benefits are balanced blood pressure, more time in deep sleep, reduction of PTSD and feelings of trauma, stronger respiratory function, better immune system, release of stress hormones from the body, fewer feelings of depression, anxiety, better focus, decrease in addictive behaviors, increased creativity, higher athletic performance, and contentment and joy. Renowned celebrities and everyday people use this modality to lead a more intentional life, and you can see why. This modality has scientifically been proven and celebrated through the work of pioneers such as Wim Hof and Dr. Joe Dispenza. As you can see, breathwork is more than just breathing in the way we usually do. One question I receive often is, how is it different from meditation? The difference is breathwork is active while meditation is passive. Another question I receive often is if it's safe. Yes, as long as it's done in a way that's trauma-informed with a trained practitioner. There are contraindications for this practice, and it's very important that they're honored. If for some reason you have a listed condition, it's important that you do not engage in breath work, at least without your doctor's approval. Now that you have an understanding of how transformative this practice is, I want to share with you how we will use it together to help you awaken your legacy. With the awareness that's created through developing a breathwork practice, you begin to realize the unconscious behaviors that I talked about earlier. As a transformation coach for executives, I give you simple, practical tools to release subconscious programming and rewrite the scripts. These scripts that have kept you in the space of procrastination, confusion, and despair. After healing from these wounds and creating coherence between our mind and body, we then dive deep into what a solid foundation looks like. These foundations start in the home, with the people closest to us. Any relationship we have is simply a reflection of the relationship we have with ourselves. By improving the relationship with ourselves, we see our relationship with others begin to improve. This extends beyond our family to our coworkers, employees, community, and eventually the world at large. Relationships are the intricate web that connects us all to each other and a higher sense of purpose. There's an old saying that I love, and it goes, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. When you've built and nurtured a community, your passion and purpose are reignited with their support. Now, this is when it gets fun. After doing all of this, your legacy naturally begins to form. It's not what you leave behind, but how you make people feel. And I'm excited to tell you about how you can awaken your legacy in the next 6 months. Whether it's a nonprofit, giving back to the homeless, or even contributing to a cause that you care about. The fact that you desire this means it desires you. And with support and a plan, you can finally make this dream a reality. I want to take this moment to thank you for being here and to invite you to something really special. If this resonates with you, I would love to personally invite you to a 15-minute clarity call with me. This community is built on trust, transparency, honesty, integrity, and courage. It is a community dedicated to their expansion and to sharing their gifts with the world. If you're ready to join us, click the button below. Here's to your long-lasting legacy. I'll see you there.